Hello, world changers. Miss Largess here, coming to you from the Penguin Chair. All right, let's get started with part one of Chang and the Bamboo Flute. So I'm going to read just an introduction, and then we're going to talk about what you need to take care of this week for reading. All right, Chang and the Bamboo Flute, written by Elizabeth Starhill and illustrated by Nancy Lane. After a storm damages their houseboat, Chang's family finds shelter in a barn that belongs to the family of Mei Mei, Chang's good friend. Chang was born mute, but the music he plays on his flute is as beautiful as any voice. He worries about what has happened to his home and when he'll be able to play his flute in private again. So there's a little bit about what you're going to learn more of. Before I share a little bit more about what you're going to be doing today or this week, let's talk about some definitions. So what you need to know is that what you're reading this week of Chang and the Bamboo Flute is only an excerpt. It is not the entire book. Okay, so, Miss Largess, gosh, I remember us talking about excerpts before we left school, but I don't quite remember. So, no problem. If you don't remember the word excerpt, go back to what you do know, which is your Greek and Latin roots. Okay? So, X is Latin, right, for out. O-U-T, out. Okay? Serpt is from another Latin word that means to pluck, plucking. So, literally, excerpt means to pluck out from something larger. Okay, so an excerpt is a portion of a larger story. That's what you're reading. We also read in the introduction that Chang is mute. A mute is a person who cannot speak. So part of the purpose for my reading this story is to find out, how does Chang communicate? Does he only use his flute, or what other means does he use to share what he's thinking and feeling with his family and friends? I'm also curious to know, how does this flute play into the bigger picture, and how is his family going to overcome losing their houseboat and the conditions of living in a barn, right? So part one this week, you're going to be reading pages 82 to 87. Then you're going to be answering the questions on this chart. So I want you to share with me some character traits that you found from the characters that you've read about. So you don't have to use these 4 characters. If you want to choose the mother or the father or some of the other people, that's fine. But I do want you to pick 4 characters and tell me a little bit about their character traits. It doesn't have, they might demonstrate more than one. And where's some evidence in the story that shows you they have these kind of character traits? So as a reminder, character traits are typically one-word adjectives that describe a person's behavior. So he behaved with loyalty, or she behaved with kindness. It doesn't have to be something positive. It could also be a negative about someone's personality or how they're behaving. In this chart, I showed you an example of shyness. And Chang demonstrates shyness when he decides that he's not going to play his flute for anyone other than his family or close friends. Okay? So you do not have to print this out. You don't have to use PowerPoint. If you want to, and you can, you certainly may just type into this chart and email it or text it back to me, whatever. Or just take a piece of paper, write down the name of the character, their character traits, and some evidence that you found in the story. And again, email it to me, take a picture of it, text it to me. It doesn't have to be that complicated, okay? Whatever works for you. All right, penguins, Miss Largess signing out. I look forward to seeing all that you have to say about Chang and his bamboo flute.